What's good, budget buds? We're back at it again with another video. This is number 13 in our series. I think we're starting off around like roughly day 50, 51, and we're going to be going till what, like 53, 54 hopefully. I'm picking up the speed for editing. I'm getting better at editing. Not getting any better at these intros or outros, but let's just get in the video. Let's get in the video. Alrighty. Trained her out a little bit. All I do is kind of open my palm, flat hand, place my hand onto the branches and slowly push down gently, depending on the different type of genetics you have or the stage of growth or how much light you give it. It could be more sturdy, it could be more wobbly like this. This is kind of like jello. Ooh, we can wiggle her around like it's nothing, and she'll just stay wherever you bend her. Versus something like this, which is a very sturdy, almost indica built plant, where if you flex it, it will help for a little bit, but she's not as flimsy as other plants. Some of these you could push down, but it'll pop right back up. Push her down, and she'll probably pop right back up for you. Alrighty, I got a time-lapse camera set up for you guys. It'll be running a time-lapse for the next, God knows how long. I think it's a day and a half. Yeah, a day and a half. The next time-lapse is a day and a half. It'll probably be enough time to see all these perk right back up to a standing straight up. I think it does nighttime, night vision, so we'll see some night vision in there. And we'll see what one-day time-lapse is going to look like, and then I'll set up a 60-day time lapse and see if that works. Alrighty, guys, I'll see ya. We're out. Deuces. pH strips are one of the cheapest ways to find out the pH of your nutrient solution. If you're growing organic, you don't really need pH paper or pH strips, or a pen, which saves you even more money. But these are only about $3, and I can easily use this to test pH for probably like a couple hundred times. Back in the day when I went to high school, we had a lower budget than most people. So when we're in science class, we would have to tear these pH strips in half so that we would be able to use it twice. And that's always a good option when you're testing your pH at home. These strips work on both ends, so you might as well cut it right in half or tear it right in half. Now you have double the pH strips. Use one for now and one for later. So we'll test some nutrient solution I made earlier. Dip it in. Get it wet. And then you can compare it. Looks like it's a 6 or head towards 5. Six or 5. So that's what a couple drops of pH down will do to a bottle of Gatorade. It's next morning. Mix some stuff up. Tested some pH for a video. Fed them some water. They're looking pretty good. I would say that's pretty good looking. I always lean light on the nitrogen, especially if I'm trying to get a run done fast. A reduction in nitrogen will decrease the flowering time and also yield. So if you're trying to get like 8 ounces on an auto or more, that's not the move. You could probably still get up to like 5 ounces from an auto doing this method, as long as you train them and you don't completely take out all their nitrogen. But I do prefer lighter plants, and I like to harvest them whenever there's almost no nutrients left in the soil. I like it to be as inert as possible whenever I re-amend, but I might feed her a little bit here and there, and most of it will be through the raw humic acid, the kelp, and a smidge of CalMag. Only phosphorus it will be getting will be through the phosphoric acid. The pH down is actually a phosphorus, so that's the only phosphorus it'll be getting from me. I don't like fertilizers high in phosphorus. It's bad for the environment, and nobody really likes that. Nobody likes that. So if you look at the tips of the leaves, I'm starting to get a little bit of purpling. I can't tell completely if it's out of nutrients or if it's just purpling out. I do stress these plants with quite a bit of light. I'm hitting her with probably close to 800 ppfd, and she's getting close to 800 ppfd. It's 700 to 800, depending on the high spots, low spots. But they're getting there. They're getting there. They're getting there, boys. Hey, yo. How's it going, friends? So, everything worked. The Lollipopping looks great. They recovered right back up. It looks like my time-lapse camera is all set up and ready to go. And she's looking happy. Looking real happy. That little bend over there, I attached a clothes hanger, and on the tip of the clothes hanger, you'll see a Coke can on this part, right there. I'm using that to hold down the main stem. So this is an apical meristem. Oops, let me zoom in and get you some views. This is apical meristem right here. If you were to follow that part down, it would be the root system. But the way I've trained her, it looks like she doesn't have an apical meristem. I just kind of threw clothes hangers on here whenever I saw a branch that got too tall. So like this branch might be too tall. I'll just kind of bend her out, push this little push it down a little bit, bang your ring. So by doing that, it keeps them the same height. I'm just pushing her out, pushing her out, pushing her out. This is a very, very stout, very bushy individual. This is possibly the most compact genetics I've seen. So I'm more than excited to run with this strain. I'm currently running tents are budget. So these budget tents are only 60 inches tall, meaning 5 feet tall. I'm more used to like at least 72. I think that's right. 6 feet tall. Yeah, that's what I'm used to. But we're doing this all on a budget with a budget light. This is a $120 light. This is an $80 tent. This is inline fanless. We're not even running an inline fan in here. So as long as your plant is in veg stage, early veg stage, you can count on it to be happy in higher temperatures and higher humidity. As soon as they get into like a flowering stage over there, you're going to want lower humidity and lower temperatures. Temperatures in veg can go up to 85. I would not get temperatures above 80 in flower. Looking for this Epsom salt right here, magnesium sulfate, and you want the fragrance free. You don't want anything additives in here. Your local Walmart has an organic section. This is where it's at. You get blood meal, kelp meal, alfalfa meal, gypsum. You got your sulfur, your worm castings. You got your mycorrhizal. You got your cover crops. That's really sick. Today I want to talk about guaranteed minimums. On the back of all your packaging on things like your gypsum, your alfalfa meals, or any of these products, on the back will have a guaranteed analysis, is what they call it. These guaranteed analysis, right there, will tell you what you can expect to find inside this batch of nutrients or whatnot. It'll also often have the application amounts, application rates on the side. But for instance, I'll talk about this alfalfa. The alfalfa meal has a 2 to 0.3 to 2. Long story short, a 2 to 0.3 to 2 is really good. Most of the fertilizer companies you see will offer you something that has exorbitant amounts of phosphorus. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the ppms needed to grow cannabis with a sufficient amount of phosphorus is about a third or less of the nitrogen, roughly. So if you have 200 parts per million, you need around 70 to 80 parts per million of phosphorus. You would need equal amounts of nitrogen, potassium, and calcium. And most ratios that they've used in studies to determine what's the best for plants, you'll see phosphorus is the least needed of the nutrients.
And by nutrient, I mean macronutrient, because you do need less of other micronutrients, but out of all the macros, phosphorus is the least needed.
Goodbye. Plants are looking pretty good. I think they got roughly 3 to 4 weeks. Maybe a little bit longer if I'm trying to push them, but 3 to 4 weeks. Get some zoomies. They're going to be bulking up over the next 3 weeks, and it's going to be a little bit wild. I might have to take a little vacation for 3 days around March 27th to April 1st or 2nd. But I'll probably sneak some pics in somehow, some videos in somehow.
Alrighty, budget buds. What I was talking about right there was I was planning on doing a quick little vacation at the end of the month. It's going to take me around
The plan is I might give her some CalMag and some Epsom salt. Either or. Probably both. Whenever she eventually takes over the entirety of this tent, this budget tent, I'm going to move the Violet Vortex into this flowering room, because these hopefully, look at them. They're going to be done soon, right? They can't not be done soon, right? They look like they're about to be done soon. Okay, I lied. They don't look like they're done at all. But hopefully by the time that she takes up the tent and makes her feel bad, I could take her and move her in over here, and these guys will be done. Hopefully.
I was planning on doing a quick little vacation at the end of the month. It's going to take me around 3 or 4 days, so I might be missing some content from March 28th to 29th.
Stick her under something. You're gonna have to pull her out and stick her under something. Something like that. Which gives me more room to pull this up there and bring that up. There we are. that helps a lot. The canopy is now much more even. Yeah, looks better. Yep. So we've got 2 even canopies now. This one only has one real weird guy in the corner right there. He's the tallest. Other than that, everybody else is pretty much the same size. I could do a little bit of mini training. Something like that. Like that. That's all the training it would need, probably. Something like that. God, this is a plant you definitely want to defoliate, but I've been real slacking on this girl. She's got like 1,000,000 leaves. All throughout. But I want to show you what's like to go all natural. With one little mini top in and just pretty much all natural. This one's going to be a little bit more trained than others. But it's looking good so far. The roots down there still healthy. I'll have to find a way to take a look at the autos later. We've got a time-lapse camera going off in the corner. I think it's going to be done on the 9th of April. So that's when we'll have a pretty good look at how these have been growing over the last 2 weeks or so. The green leaves, the green color, yeah. Those are some healthy greens. Those healthy greens. Before she was real yellow. You guys remember that? She had like these yellow guys right here. Some of them are still in there, but fixed most of that deficiency. Today I'm going to feed both these with some Epsom salt. And I'm going to give them a tiny layer of gypsum on top. So get a little bit more calcium, a little magnesium, and a little sulfur into their system. Just some more of the less talked about nutrients.
But either way, play that music. Outro. We out.